Hey guys, this is our system to open a close guard in both gi and no-gi, and we teach it in a way that keeps you very safe from attacks from your partner. I'm in a close guard. First thing I want to try is to stand up immediately. If I'm down here on the knees, my partner has a lot of attacks. He can attack my back, he can sweep to the mount, he can attack submissions. So I want to get standing as quick as possible. I can't stand up with hands on the ground because he can go for overhook arm bars or other attacks. So first thing I do is I swing my hands inside of his arms and I'm going to post on the biceps close to the armpits here. I'm going to extend my arms here, I lean forward so my weight goes on my hands, which allows me to then jump up or step up to the standing position. I don't stay here because he can still attack me here. I'm going to bring my head up all the way and my hips forward. If I stand normally, he can pull me forward here because he's hanging off my body. So I have to push the hips a bit more forward than you would normally be used to. From here, I want to push inside of his knee. So I lean away, place at least one hand or both. But the problem now is my leg is holding up his leg. So if I push here, it's not going to open. So I'm going to start to step back and push until the guard opens. From here, most of the time people will grab your leg and try to play something like the Lahiva guard here. So I hold the shins, turn my body so I can kick out, and then go to my outside passing. Sometimes people hold both your ankles when you stand up. So I'm here, now he grabs both ankles, making it hard for me to step back to open. What I do here is I'm going to get one arm deep, all the way, so I'm curling here, and I'm going to hold right behind the knee, holding the tendon. Now I use my whole body to twist and open the ankles here, then I can clear the leg and start to pass here. Very important, you never want to do this from the knees or when your head is forward. If you do it from here, you're going to walk into a triangle. Same if we're kind of here and you do it. If I lose my balance, again, I'm going to be in a triangle. So only use this when you're standing up all the way. This time my partner's going to control my neck, usually with a collar tie nogi. So I get the inside position and he holds my head here. Now I don't want to start fighting this here because then he's going to replace it and we're not making any progress, and the longer I spend on my knees, the more time he has to attack me. So even if he starts here, I just get my hands inside. As soon as the hands are inside, I start standing up. Now I try to clear this. So I push this off and he might be able to replace it, but every time he replaces it, I get my head a little bit higher. Now the next thing I have to deal with is a knee pull. He can pull me forward with the knees and try to get me here. So I start framing on the body and I walk. So if you're drilling this, make sure your partner is constantly trying to pull you forward with the knees, and you have to fight this until you're standing, and then you can start to open the guard again and work from here. Sometimes when you stand up, your partner will try to come up with you and sit up. So I get here and now he's coming up with me. What I don't want is him getting double underhooks here, then he can stand up and take me down. So I start fighting this, constantly getting my hands inside, pushing him down. If he starts coming up again, then I can keep pushing, and usually your partner's abs will get very tired, and then you can start to open. I'm trying to stand up in the gi, so I'm using the lapels here instead of just pushing on the armpits because I can lock my grip here in place. But he grips my gi now, so when I start to stand, now I have to deal with his body weight here. Now the simplest way to deal with this is, because I don't want to stay here, is to lift him up with me. But if I just try to use my upper body here and my back, it's going to be very heavy. So what I do is I pinch my knees here a little bit on the glutes, and I'm going to rock my hips back. So if I do this, his head comes off the ground really easily. And it shouldn't use a lot of strength. As you can see, I'm still talking normally. My hips drop, his head come up. When the head goes, I'm also going to pull a little bit with my arms. So I go here and I pull, and it comes up very easily. Now elbow inside on one side and open the guard. One mistake you want to avoid is that you go too deep into a squat here. So if you sit back too much, now it's impossible to lift. So all you have to do is sit back a little bit to get the head moving here. So sometimes when you get up there, so I stand, lift, I pull him up. I want to make sure that he's not getting double underhooks on me, so if he starts to pummel, I keep pushing him down. And if he starts sitting up here, I can return him and then open normally here to then pass. Trying to stand up. Again, I get the inside position, get my hips off the ground, but this time he's going to go for a high guard here. Now when he gets the high guard, very important, I don't want my shoulders to come together here. Then this gets really bad, there's like double arm bars. So you constantly have to close your elbows down towards the ground. Now from here, I want to look for his tailbone with my knee. But it's going to be very hard to find it with one leg here. So I just bring one leg in, and then I use my other knee on the side of his hip to shift the hip right where I want it to be. So my right knee has to be right in the middle. Once I get there, I can start stepping back, and also the whole time I'm walking my hands up to the lower ribs here, close my elbows, and now to open the guard, I'm going to arch my back like a scared cat, push and close my elbows down to open. As soon as I open, immediately I look for a passing position, whether that's outside or headquarters. So just again to show the angle that we have here. So our partner is the high guard. So my knee comes in as close as possible. Now my left knee shifts the hip, and then I step back. I make sure my heel's on the ground here, and that's going to allow me to open. If you try to shift the tailbone here and your partner keeps moving off your knee, at that moment when he moves off, there's not a lot of pressure on your back, so you can just stand up again and open with the previous moves. Try to go for my log splitter pass again. So I get up, he walks the legs up, stopping me from standing up all the way. Now, if my partner has very long legs, very often when you get here, you're not able to open up, and you kind of end up dropping to this combat base position. Now, if the knee is in front of my arm here, this is not good. He can tilt me to the side and start to sweep me. So to stop that, I'm going to focus on getting my arm inside of my knee. So now if he tries to sweep from here, I'm very stable, and I can start to lean forward and drive my knee down to the ground. Once you're in this position, it's a very good passing position. You just establish upper body control. You can pass to side, or even better, pass towards the mount from there. You can still drill this even if your partner doesn't have long legs, so when you get there, even if they open the legs here, just pretend the legs are still locked, then you can still focus on driving the knee down to the ground, then you prepare it in sparring for the long leg people. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe.